So yeah, maybe I die before this gets published. I don't get rid of the footage. Maybe someone is reviewing this posthumously and looking at me. I don't know. Maybe future archaeologists are looking at this. Look at something else. All right then. Let's see what there is to see. Let's read what there is to read. These are all these fictitious letters to Max. They're really pulling at my heartstrings, aren't they? I mean, look at this. Look at this. And we know that meanwhile Maxine is living it up in Seattle. Oh, Maxine. Oh, Maxine. So, the mustache drove me to school today. Yep, that's what my life's become. Even worse, he thought the ride was like telling me how things are gonna be from now on opportunity. I shut that shit down real quick. But I have a feeling he's gonna run crying to mom about it because that's the kind of little man baby he is. Chloe, the only reason no one's calling you a man-child is because you're not a man. Two different sides of Chloe Price, and she basically has two sides.
Here it comes. Buckle up, because I stick with this interpretation for the rest of the playthrough.
There are two sides to Chloe Price: anger and grief. That's all there is to her: anger and grief. Had a dream about that again, the one where I was there when it happened. Seems to get harder and harder after each of these to remember what's real and what's not. All I can remember after I wake up is how much I miss him. I hope that never goes away. The Chloe who wasn't there. Or was I? I'd like to be silent for a while now, to just, choke on my tears for a while. Let's get me emotional to a decent extent. Because I wanted to say two things, and once again, as they often are, and as they are wont to be, they are basically in direct contradiction. Because on one hand, I wanted to mention that if there are these two sides to Chloe Price, anger and grief, I want to feed the grief. Because that anger isn't productive in any capacity. Anger is just her lashing out against society, being destructive. Doesn't help with anything. The grief, at the very least, is her looking back on life and finding some fond memories, finding something positive. Reminiscing and then being sad. That's also unproductive, I'm afraid. Because my other remark looking at this was that she wants to hold on to her grief. And I immediately wanted to note how that's not healthy, how that's not the right idea. And of course, like I do many times in life, I caught myself thinking that, and I immediately stopped myself, and further up the chain, another meta thought sprung up. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. And I'm not sure how to feel about it. Horrible, isn't it? Just putting a mirror to me and showing me, to a certain extent, something relatable. It usually is this way, isn't it? You get shown something, and people do refer to it as projecting all too often, when the sort of thing that upsets you the most is exactly the sort of thing you hate in yourself. And it makes perfect sense, of course. Why would it upset you so much in other people? Maybe it affects you in some capacity, and then, fair enough, it makes sense. However, if it just upsets you in a random person whose decisions do not affect you all that much, if it strikes a chord, maybe it's because you find it somewhere within you. And that's why it strikes a chord. It reminds you of something, deep down inside, something repressed. So there's that. I look at this and figure, come on, Chloe, you really shouldn't do that. It's horribly unhealthy. It doesn't lead anywhere. You really should strive to find something positive in life. You should move on and do something, accomplish something, anything, instead of just clinging on to these painful memories and letting them shape you. I don't know how many people just get shaped by their pain. How many people have this defining moment and they never let go? They don't want to let go. They don't want to let go of the pain. It's what ends up defining them forever. They see themselves as sufferers. They see themselves as victims of this single thing, this single pivotal moment that they shaped their entire life around. And you know from Life is Strange that I've really tried to turn things around. And it just wouldn't happen. Mostly because of the Seattle thing. If I had access to Chloe Price further down the line, if I had the opportunity to save William, and then somehow intervene at some point and make sure that Chloe doesn't hurt herself, that there is no accident for her, maybe things could have turned out fine, but they didn't. And fundamentally, Chloe is shaped by these things. We can't help that. We know that. After all, once again, this is a prequel. These things are set in stone. We can't do anything about it. We can't change the past, and we cannot change the future. All we have is the possibility, the opportunity to enjoy the present. How painful is that? Elliot. As far as Blackwell students go, Elliot Hampton is pretty not terrible. High praise. But of course you can't be authentic and just say that he's nice or good, right? Because that's not your style. You don't actually give authentic compliments. You just hide behind all sorts of facades. You hide behind everything, don't you, Chloe? By the way, oh my goodness, I've noted one of my favorite things. An internal sense of contradiction in character, where people are defined by two polar opposites that come together, interwoven in a way where you can't just say that it's one or the other, but you feel awkward saying that it's both, because it seems like it's not possible for two things that are mutually exclusive and polar opposites to be true about one thing at the same time. And yet, such is the case with Chloe Price. On one hand, you'd be hard-pressed not to say that she's very direct and honest, wouldn't you? I mean, she states things so clearly and unequivocally, so rudely, so directly. And yet at the same time, as I have now claimed, so I may be horribly wrong here, I think she balls all of this up. I think she hides behind all sorts of facades. I think she represses absolutely everything. I think there's basically no authenticity to her statements and behavior whatsoever. Every single thing is cushioned in sarcasm. Every single honest feeling is hidden. Every single thing is deep down inside. There's nothing on the surface that's authentic. It's all fake. It's all a facade. She's fronting, as she would say, I guess. And that's it. That's it. She's very direct. But all of that is surface level garbage. All of it. Her mind operates on the level of the petty and the mundane. And whatever there is of her authentic feelings and thoughts, anything that would actually possibly deep down inside make her happy or sad or anything, is buried beneath all of these facades, all of these levels of protections that she has built up, all these walls. That's it. It's Chloe Price. I can't save her, I can't help her. And she can only ever be happy temporarily, I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's read about Elliot. As far as Blackwell students go, Elliot Hampton is pretty not terrible. He hangs out with some of the douches sometimes, but I get the sense that he's mostly a lone wolf. Like this chick. Yeah, point at self, Weston, point at self. Makes perfect logical sense. This chick right here, yeah. Well, in the current year, similar to my class schedule, Elliot and I have history but no chemistry or drama. Well, we hooked up a few times, shortly after Dad died, but there wasn't really much to it. Okay, well, once again, temporary brief moments of happiness that shortly after, so she would have been 13. Kids these days, you know. But there wasn't really much to it. I think I was just bored. I know that there's the rest of the paragraph, but on the other hand, you look at that, you look at her trying to make sense of her own feelings, and... Really? It was shortly after her father died, and her instinct is, oh well, I was probably bored. Really? Really, Chloe? Is that what happened? I think I was just bored. Or maybe a little lonely. Weird, I know. I don't always get where Elliot's coming from. He's constantly asking to do stuff with me. Which is nice, but I'm not sure we have that much in common anymore. Sometimes when we talk, it seems almost like he's studying me. I can't tell if he actually wants to be friends, or just get in my pants. Guess I should be flattered either way, but I'm also not sure how much I care. Sorry, Elliot. Does she care about much at all? At all. How is Frank next? Yeah, whatever. And then there's Mikey and Steph. Has kissed girls. Has not kissed. Ever. Okay. I can never decide if Steph is the coolest or nerdiest person in all of Blackwell. Maybe both. Thank you, Chloe Price. I think I found the redeeming little factor. Okay, excellent. There is no contradiction between being cool and being a nerd. Well, I guess it depends on who gets to define what is cool. She's definitely queen of the indoor kids, with all the weird role-playing games and sci-fi shit. I guess her dad is a video editor. She makes some sweet cash by selling bootleg DVDs. Don't knock the hustle. I will knock the hustle. It's the least I can do, Chloe. And I'm pretty sure Steph does all the backstage technical work for the school plays, which checks out. Another thing about Steph, she's into girls, and she doesn't give a shit what anyone else thinks about it. I mean, what exactly would they think about it? I don't know, it's 2010, a small town in America. People somehow ideologically opposed to lesbians now? I don't know. What do I know? Mikey Nolf is the captain of Steph's fan club, and the two of them can be found huddled around tables rolling 20-sided dice whenever they have the chance. If life were one of those 80s movies Dad used to watch, Mikey would be the nerd that the jocks give wedgies to. In the real world, if someone messed with Mikey, they'd be in deep shit. Mikey's older brother is Drew Nolf, Blackwell's alpha jock. equals 6th level flaming gauntlet of awesomeness. The truth is, Mikey is one of the few genuinely nice people in this place, although every once in a while he says something that reveals a darker outlook on life. No idea where he gets it from. Maybe Star Trek? He is a nerd. I guess with intelligence comes a certain degree of darkness. And grittiness and all that. Do I talk to this guy? Will that action have consequences? Let's not go for the bus. Oh, yes, look at the fountain. Look at the fountain.
The future needs excellence?
Yes, it does.
The future's an asshole.
You're dissing a fountain. Well, maybe not a you're dissing the future.
Steph and Mikey normally post up somewhere quiet in the courtyard.
I know. Well, maybe we should talk to Victoria last. It's probably not going to end well. Obviously. Alright, alright. What is the next bit of graffiti? Drama nerds. On this little ribbon. Well, maybe not a little ribbon. On a ribbon. Drama nerds. Drama nerds. The nerds over there playing D&D. Maybe those are the nerds. Where's the drama, though?
I can tell Justin's wearing his eau de gange.
Well, yeah, he's a bottom-feeding loser as far as I can tell.
Hey, price check. Gotten in any good trouble lately?
Buddy, you might want to cut down on that. Oh, no. Hold on. Let's talk about Rachel Amber. As if we'd ever talk about anything else in these games.
Hey, out of the blue question, what do you think of Rachel Amber?
She is amazing. If you're into chicks that are hot, smart, and hot. I mean, she helped me out a while back. I was failing algebra hard.
I believe you.
Check it. After I bombed my midterm last fall, she tutored me for the rest of the semester. And then I crushed it. C+.
Okay. She's smart, attractive, and nice. Everything Rachel Amber... I mean, everything Rachel Amber is... I mean, I dread saying it. Doesn't even need saying. Chloe Price is not.
Last night, I scoped out this crazy party at the old mill up north. Kind of a DIY thing.
Wow, no shit. I thought that place was like meth central. My cousin met this hooker there.
Whatever. It was cool, okay? You wouldn't understand.
Okay, I love it when things go too far, even for Chloe Price, and she figures, whoa, dude, no, no, we've crossed the line here. Anyway,
Dude, you need to freshen like a mofo.
Are you saying I smell like weed?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Word. Well, good looking out, Price. Want a hit?
no.
Like, right here? Thanks.
The hell?
There's my fellow high risk.
Chloe, what's the latest?
All right. Guess I'll see you in class.
Word.
Okay, I see we might have another interaction sometime in the future. As long as we gather enough information to be able to afford
I
one.
bet Steph and Mikey are playing games on one of the tables.
I know, but we want to talk we want to talk to basically everyone else before it comes to that. Hey, Evan.
Evan. Amazing photographer, but such a bleeding heart. What soapbox is he on today?
It's not that she's even a rebel when it counts.
Chloe, I'd like to talk to you about wildfire awareness and prevention.
Good morning to you too, Evan.
According to the Department of Forestry, over 90% of this season's fires were caused by humans. That's a record high and completely preventable.
And the two available options are wildfires are awesome and why are you doing this? Thank you, Chloe, for providing me with these wonderful dialogue options that I may feast on.
This is for college, right? I don't believe you actually care about this.
My interest in fire prevention is completely sincere. Besides, I intend to get into college on the strength of my photography alone. Do you think Rachel Amber would be willing to pose for my portfolio? She's so artistic. I bet she would be a dream model. What do you think?
I guess.
I don't have to. I know. I've seen the photos. We know this happens. Wildfires are awesome. At least she doesn't have blue hair yet.
Who says we should prevent fire? Fire is awesome.
While I realize you're being purposefully obstructive, you raise a good point. Many parts of our local ecosystem benefit from fire. Knobcone pine cones, for example, which require temperatures above 350 degrees to open.
Say knob cone again.
No.
I gotta run.
Wait, one last thing. Will you sign my petition to have a fire safety assembly at school?
Anything to get out of class, sign the petition. Sign the petition. Some assembly required.
Sure. I love assemblies. Some of the best naps of my life.
Wow, thanks. I did not see that coming. You being, interested in complicated issues, helping out with the public.
Do you want me to change my mind?
No.
How seriously am I taking this right now?
You're taking this very seriously and you're signing as Chloe Price. See, that would explain why Evan is so cult and oh my god, we ruin Evan, don't we?
There you go.
Just don't expect this to become a habit.
Blackwell Academy, home of tomorrow's leaders.
The only honest signature on the entire thing? Really?
What? Caring about important issues?
Caring in general. Blackwell Academy, home of tomorrow's leaders. What's worse, a poser who cares about issues or no one caring at all?
He's not a... My goodness. I'm contemplating. Well, obviously I'm contemplating, but... Because I do have a certain degree of distaste. Let's not walk on the grass, I guess. I do have a certain degree of distaste for the sort of people that I want to approach her anyway, but from the front. I have a certain degree of distaste for the sort of people who are very naively jumping to support causes to find some meaning in the pointless lives, but then again, I don't think her approach is much better. I don't think her approach is better at all. It really makes me reconsider. Yeah, I guess I am on the side of people who are trying to improve the world a bit. What, over snarky assholes? How is that not my affiliation? You know, a smidgen of self-reflection would have revealed that that statement indeed sounded humorous precisely because of the very meta nature of it, of me being a snarky asshole by saying that, doesn't it? Not that I necessarily aim for that much. And of course I could always say, oh no, she's just making me do it. No one's making me do anything. I have a choice in the matter.
Victoria Chase. I'd rather vomit razor blades than talk to her.
And here is another trial. I could refuse to talk to her. You know I could. And honestly, do I have any reason to actually talk to her? Any reason whatsoever? Chloe doesn't have any reason to talk to her. It's not in her style to talk to her. And frankly, if I were in that position, I almost certainly wouldn't talk to her myself. So what exactly makes me talk to her? Well, the affordance. If real life was constructed like that, I would presumably just, being the pharaoh man that I am, I'd presumably just go through all the options. But it's not.
Oh, Carrie Price.
It's Chloe.
Oh, right. I'm just teasing. People have been taking me so seriously since I won the Beacon's Young Artist Award for my photography.
You don't say.
Between that and the Vortex Club, it's hard to keep people from putting me up on a pedestal or whatever. But you know all about that. What with Rachel Amber? Am I right?
Look, I understand that this doesn't sound particularly nice, but at the same time... Yeah, I get it, right. Self-absorbed, somewhat rude, sure. Not the best attitude by a long shot, but at the same time, she's not purposefully being particularly malicious. This, so far, is a benign interaction. She's trying, and we know she struggles. If we break her, my goodness, that's... so horrible. Let's talk about your reward. I am interested in that. Tell me, what have you won?
Wow, the Young Artist Award.
Oh, it's not a big deal or anything. Like, 100 people submitted work, and my photography won.
Congrats, I guess.
So the Beacon's putting me up on the front page of the lifestyle section. Who cares?
Once again, it may seem like she's bragging, and she is bragging to a certain extent. Once you are on a certain level, it feels different. She's brilliant and she's talented and she knows that. So for her to say these things doesn't really sound that self-absorbed and braggy. It doesn't sound particularly bad. Because from Chloe's point of view, these are the lofty heights she'll presumably never achieve. Whereas from Victoria's point of view, there were, 100 competitors out there? That's not exactly the biggest pool, right? Not that many people. So yeah, she happened to be the biggest fish in a reasonably small-sized pool. Yeah. And in fact, if anything, she's airing a grievance that they're putting her on a pedestal all of a sudden. It's not being insincere. It's an honest sort of objection and an honest remark, but presumably it doesn't sound that way to Chloe. But I get it. My goodness, I get it. And that's the sort of thing people will look at and will figure, oh my god, I'm dealing with a narcissist over here. Someone who feels the need to bring up these sorts of accomplishments, put them right in my... That's not the way she feels. That's not the way she approaches this. She's not... Oh my goodness. This is so instructive. Tell me about the Vortex Club.
You hang with the Vortex Club?
I mean, I'm technically not a member, but I am being courted.
I'm not sure
The club should be a collection of Blackwell elites, but instead, it's some anti-bullying, hand-holding kumbaya shit. Not when I'm a senior.
I just dawned on me. No, Nathan Prescott is here, but his parents have made the investment, But he hasn't taken over the Vortex Cup quite yet, so hasn't quite corrupted it yet. Yeah, this place is largely uncorrupted. Events are just springing into motion. And, as I believe this has occurred to me off camera, but might as well mention that grant from the Prescotts funding the arts at Blackwell Academy, they'll attract Jefferson further down the line. That's bootstrapping the entire plot of Life is Strange, the vanilla version, is what brings Maxine back to Arcadia Bay to begin with. That's what bootstraps all the events. So the fact that the arts receive all this funding, it's tough to say that it works out in Chloe's favor in any way, shape, or form, because that's what kills her in the end, doesn't it? That's the thing. She ends up dead. So to say, all of this works out in her favor because she meets Max, no. No. Okay, one thing dawned on me. As far as we understand it, Maxine receives her powers somehow because of Chloe Price. How? Maybe that'll be explored. How somehow she's capable of bestowing these powers upon her. That's one thing. And another thing that has dawned on me. The lighthouse. Remember that thing etched or written or whatever on the side of the building next to the lighthouse? Well, we are graffitiing everything. So for all I know, on the side of the lighthouse we are going to make all those bizarre symbols. That's going to be her handiwork, Chloe's. That's about as much as I wanted to say. Now let's talk about Rachel Amber.
Wait, what about Rachel Amber?
Rachel posted a slamming selfie of you two having the time of your lives. Do tell.
Oh, we killed a man. Tell what? Wow, she just rose to the rank of socialite by proxy, by the fact that Rachel has posted that photograph, which is fascinating. This has elevated her in the eyes of, well, at the very least, Victoria Chase. Yeah, no kidding. Previously, she was presumably down in the dumps for a variety of reasons, and now, suddenly, for whatever reason, Rachel Amber has taken an interest in her, and thus, other people have taken an interest in Rachel Amber taking an interest in her. Because Rachel Amber clearly is considered the coolest kid in town. The only thing that leaves me wondering at this stage is why exactly has Rachel Amber taken an interest in this loser right here? I would say no offense, but, you know.
Tell what, Victoria? It's a photo. Big deal.
Like that award.
But it's on Facebook. I mean, that basically means you and Rachel are like BFFs.
We're really not.
So, what's she into? You know, what's her thing? Is it drugs? I'm not judging or anything. I figure if she's hanging out with you, she must be into some effed up shit. You know?
Seriously, I don't know why you're talking to me about Rachel.
Oh, everybody loves her. Little Miss Perfect.
So you're jealous of Rachel Amber. That's what's happening right now. Gotcha.
Oh, God, I don't have time for this. I didn't even finish the chemistry assignment, and you're being you. Oh.
Sabotage? Chloe, please! But yes, as I have predicted, yeah, of course. Rachel Amber's Little Miss Perfect, everyone loves her, and that's not going to end well for her. Poor little flower. What was the other part? Ah, yes, of course. It's not just the case that this elevates Chloe in Victoria's eyes, it also diminishes Rachel in her eyes at the same time, associating with someone like Chloe Price. Let's walk away, let's not negatively affect her.
Why would Rachel Amber ever hang out with Carrie Price?
Chloe, my name is Chloe.
It's Chloe.
Look at her wiggle her butt all the way to the chemistry lab. Great. Hey, Samantha, can we talk?
I really didn't mean anything.
Alright, I guess I should be able to have a conversation with the stoner.
Chloe, what's the latest?
All right. Guess I'll see you in class.
Word.
You know, you could just refuse to let me have the interaction if there's absolutely nothing I can possibly do in this circumstance. But fair enough. I can't stay off the grass. It's the only way to get over there is through the grass. Do we go to the dorms?
No, Chloe. Class is back the other way.
Okay, fine. Let's get our DVD after witnessing some D&D.
Steph Gingrich and Mikey North, Blackwell's premier indoor kids. Steph has created something of a business selling pirated DVDs to other students.
And are they so technologically inept that they cannot just pirate them off the internet and instead have to buy
Need my
them?
DVD from Steph. I bet she's nerding it up with Mikey somewhere.
Yeah, you're witnessing it. Do they have to buy them on optical media? I mean, if you don't have ethical objections, what's your problem?
If I had known the Celestial Avenger was bloodied, I would have totally given him my potion.
It was a skill challenge. Potion wouldn't have worked.
Skill challenge?
Skill
It's part
issue.
of the tabletop game we play.
You wouldn't understand.
Wouldn't understand. Classic. Oh, I have two options. Try me and I used to play. Well, one of these is defensive and the other one is what Chloe would say.
Give me a break, nerds. I've heard of tabletop games.
Cool.
Got my DVD?
One Blade Runner, director's cut coming right up.
Do I have to watch Blade Runner before I
Sweet.
proceed?
$5, right?
Keep it. I'm just glad someone here appreciates the classics. You even asked for the director's cut, which took out the shitty voiceover and replaced it with a sweet dream sequence.
Dream life over real life. That's my motto.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, do you know if Rachel's
Right
a
on.
gamer?
Rachel Amber? You're asking me?
Didn't you two go out last night, or was it just like a friend thing?
They don't consider them friends. They consider them a couple. And her response, I mean, that's what I read into it. Maybe I read too much into it, but one possible response is, oh, we're not friends. Gotcha, Chloe. Say no more. We understand. We have nothing against this sort of thing. We are very progressive over here at Blackwell. You look, if you're not ready to talk about this, we don't have to broach the subject right now. Sorry for bringing it up. Oh no, both the options lead into this exact thing. One of them is, what's it to you? Listen, my relationship with Rachel Amber over here. They're not even that far away, are they? This is basically what's gonna happen, fundamentally. I mean, let's not beat around the bush, so to speak. After all, Chloe does get decently jealous upon finding out about Rachel's relationship. You think it's fairly uncontroversial to say that they were more than just friends, more than just very close friends. I think they were an item. I think they were very, very close in all sorts of ways. Not just physically necessarily, but you know, romantically and so on. Which is great. I mean, it's great in the sense that Chloe Price, as far as I can tell, will find one thing, at the very least one thing, one positive thing in her life. Something to cling on to, something that'll make her happy. And I want her to be happy, don't I? So that's great. But on the other hand, of course, we know what happens further down the line, don't we? So there's also that. Okay, so there's either what's it to you or we're not friends. What's it to you is too defensive. Chloe Price doesn't do defensive. Admit nothing, deny everything, make counter accusations.
I don't know what you heard, but Rachel and I barely know each other.
Oh, sweet.
Hey.
Steph has a crush.
Yeah.
Chloe, you should join our game.
But I've got chemistry.
I don't have 50 hours right now. Thanks, though.
We're at the end of the campaign, so it'll only take, like, 20 minutes. What else have you got to do before class?
Look, I mean, listen, I really don't want to be late for chemistry, but I have the opportunity to participate in D&D as Chloe Prize, of course! Give me! Sure!
What the hell? Game on, nerds.
Don't sit on the...
Here's a character sheet. You are an elf barbarian.
I know, but what about my character? I'm totally an elf barbarian.
Nice. I could totally see myself as an elf barbarian.
I know, I'm good. Alright, let's get started. You are both famous heroes in the kingdom of Avernon, a once peaceful land, now laid to waste by the bloodthirsty raiders of the Black Well. Alone, you have fought your way through the raider camps, seeking their warlord leader, Durgaron, the Unscarred. As you enter the final camp, bloodied and weary, you see your fellow hero approaching from the opposite direction.
I raise my staff to you in greeting. I am Elamon, Wizard of the Third Circle, foremost advisor to King Tiberius, and sworn defender of Averno.
Introduce your character.
Yeah.
Don't make this
okay.
time.
I'm an elf barbarian.
Chloe,
named,
imagination. Not Bob, not... Be creative. Calamastia.
Calamastia.
Yeah.
Super into it.
Not bad.
The two heroes.
Hold on. Elamon narrows his eyes at the elf in front of him and says, I am here to defeat Durgaron, the Unscarred. In the name of King Tiberius, what makes you think you are worthy to fight alongside me?
According to my cat. No, don't refer to the... Stay in character.
I once stabbed a guy in the chest with a sword, and it went all the way through and killed the guy behind him too. True story.
You stand at a three-way crossing. To your left, the raiders' training ground. To your right, their prison camp. Straight ahead, an enormous, ostentatious tent that could only belong to Durgaron, the Unscarred. Which way do you go?
Onwards.
Straight ahead, right? We're supposed to kill the dude.
Elamon frowns. The raiders could have some good loot at the training ground, and surely it is our duty to free all those prisoners.
Your choice, newbie. Where do you wish to go?
Oof. Training grounds, prison camp, or warlord's tent. Do we want to directly face the threat? Do we want to be smart about things, or do we want to do what's honorable? Let's do what's honorable.
Guess it's time to free some peeps. Let's go to the prison camp.
You behold a field of standing iron cages, each imprisoning a human villager, calling out for you to free them. Only a small, elderly dragonkin is keeping watch. He notices you, and, in terror, runs into one of the few empty cages and locks himself in.
Ah, poor little guy. What's a dragonkin?
Dragonkin are like little dragon people. They're assholes.
Hey, that's
I
racist.
bet he has all the keys.
Oh, okay. Hey, shitface! Get out of there!
The dragonkin hops up and down, shaking his ring of keys at you. He shouts in a strange language. Whatever he's saying probably isn't flattering.
Got any useful spells in that robe of yours?
Nothing that wouldn't blow up the cage and everything in it.
Oh boy! Oh boy, trash talking time!
Intimidate. That's a skill I have. Can I do that? I want the little bastard to shit his pants.
You can try. What do you say?
Listen up, you little lizard.
Unfortunately, he doesn't speak common, which means he
I
can't.
cast communication on the dragonkin.
Shit. Really?
Now he can understand every word you say.
Listen here, you little shit.
Time to work some real magic.
Okay, focus,
So
Mister.
this is called a skill challenge, where you try to use.
Oh, I know what this is. I grab the bars of the cage and lean in, nice and close.
Now listen
He
here.
steps back, his scaly skin quivering in fear. What do you say?
Everybody knows that dragons are pussies. That's why they hide in caves and only come out to breathe fire on sheep and eat cows and shit.
No, that's not...
That was a mistake. The dragonkin growls, snapping at
Damn
you
it,
and
no, no,
showing
no, no.
his teeth and claws.
No, 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 no!
Tall one is a fool. Dragons are gods, he says.
Oh boy, that was so stupid.
You're short, I say. But I could fix that. I'll just cut off your head and wear it as a top hat. Then you'd be way taller.
One more!
No, no, please don't do that. Still, I cannot give key. Durgaron will eat me.
I think he's close to breaking.
I'll eat you.
I twirl my axe around, badass style. Eat this, lizard!
How badass.
2 out
Really
of 3.
badass.
2 out of 3 answers are good. I think.
17.
That's pretty badass. The dragonkin cowers before you, looking left and right. He opens his jaws, and you think he's about to yell for help.
Oh, don't you dare.
Interrupt his yell by shoving my axe into the cage, pinning his head to the bars without hurting him. Then I say the following.
This is going to be good.
Here's what's up. I'm going to carve the skin from your bones. Then I'm going to turn your skin into a little leather handbag that I'll shove your skinless body into so I can carry it around with me wherever I go. That way, the next time some asshat refuses to give me a key I want, I can pull your body out and show them what happens. How does that sound?
Unhinged.
Wow.
That was nuts.
I'm going to give you a +10 bonus to charisma. Go ahead and roll. A small pool of urine collects under the elderly dragonkin as, hands trembling, it hands you the keys. Then it dies of fear.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Go team. Why don't you start unlocking the prisoners?
I'm on it.
As you free them, the prisoners run away from you in fear. What's next?
Well, we gotta be tactical about this. We're going to the training ground next. Maybe we can intimidate some of them to help us, to aid us in the This is the most fun I've had in the entire game. We're playing a game in a game.
Loot sounds good. Let's go to the training ground.
Sweet.
Upon arriving at the training ground, you are spotted by a heavy-set orc who immediately shouts and points. There are a dozen raiders on the training field, all of whom raise their weapons and charge.
Okay. So what do we do?
Intimidate.
Cast Urgel's acid blast.
Overkill?
Bam.
You conjure up a wave of acid that washes over the charging orcs. Every raider suddenly starts screaming and writhing in pain. There's a sweet and sour kind of smell as the flesh melts off their bones like warm candle wax.
Holy shit.
You see why I haven't really needed a partner?
The heavy-set orc sergeant still remains.
Don't do
He
it.
runs at you, swinging a massive warhammer.
Don't do it,
All
buddy.
yours.
Pommel strike, knee slam, fatal cleave.
Okay. Let's end this. Fatal cleave.
You swing your great axe downward with both hands. The orc blinks, then splits open like a hot dog bun.
Fuck yeah! I'm awesome at this game.
It's going well.
What about the loot?
Well, as the training ground is now a roiling pit of acid, it's unlikely any loot survived.
The loot!
Yay.
Will someone think of the loot? We all make mistakes.
Don't worry, Alamon guy. We all make mistakes.
Elamon. No.
Mistakes are made.
Alamastia, the elf barbarian, is most wise and forgiving.
What's next?
I think you know what's next.
It's tent time.
10th time!
Enter the tent to find Durgaron, warlord of the Raiders of the Black Well, sitting comfortably at his throne. He's a huge red-eyed minotaur.
Don't interrupt our game,
swathed
anyone.
in a fine black cloak, gripping a two-handed sword that's easily 6 feet long. His laughter bellows, wah ha 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 ha. Your lands and people are already mine. Your deeds here mean nothing. Your kingdom was weak. You are weak.
What an asshole.
I got this. I cast Zael's cataclysmic cone of fire.
The fire fizzles out on contact. Durgaron laughs again, holding up his right arm to show off his bracer of fire immunity.
Shit. All of my battle spells are fire-based.
Well,
Except for, you know, Acid Blast, which someone used unnecessarily to show off for Chloe. Calamastia? What'll it be?
Brutal Punch, Wrathful Rush, Annihilation Strike!
Oh, holy shit! Annihilation Strike. That sounds boss as fuck.
Hope it's not fire-based.
One?
No!
That's bad,
Oh
right?
no!
Not for me.
Oh no!
As you take your first step, you trip on a rock, collapsing onto the ground in a clangy jumble of metal. Your axe swings wildly to the side. Mikey, roll a reflex save.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't you!
Oh no.
No! 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 No!
Three.
No!
Your axe strikes Elamon's leg.
Oh no!
Legs, plural, severing both feet at the ankles.
I'm so we all make mistakes, buddy.
I am so sorry.
We all make.
Durgaron moves
We
toward
all
the
make
crippled
mistakes.
Elmon.
Oh, shit.
I
No!
told you this was my best boss.
No!
You didn't tell me my character might die.
No!
Durgaron approaches, stomping his bloody hooves. Stomp, stomp.
No! 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 No!
This is
No!
all my fault. Sort of. What should I do?
Rewind time! Oh damn it! It's not. Dance? What? Jump? No. Encourage him? Encouraging him isn't gonna help. He's only got fire spells. Dancing? Jump in front of it. Chloe Price wouldn't it? No!
I jump in front of Elamon.
You'll have to go for me.
Thanks, Chloe. I mean, thanks, Calamastia.
Okay. Durgaron has now turned his attention toward you.
Bring it.
He charges, thrusting madly with his great sword.
Dodge, dodge, dodge.
Shit!
Oh no.
Your attempt to dodge his thrust fails.
Oh!
Durgaron laughs as he impales you on his blade, lifting you high into the air.
Seriously?
Can you slay him in
I
this
can't do
state?
anything with that stupid bracer. I'm sorry, Chloe.
Remove it.
Hey, I chopped your feet off. And we're even.
You feel your strength draining
Take
away
the bracer
as
off.
Durgaron lifts you higher
Take the
into
bracer
the air.
off.
It hurts like hell. What do?
You make. Oh my goodness. Listen. If she takes the bracer off, he may fry both of them, so she will sacrifice her life, but the kingdom will be saved. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Swing for his head, swing for the arm. The bracer needs to go.
Bring my axe down onto his arm. The
Consequences.
One with the fire bracer thingy.
Brilliant.
You'll have to roll high to hit. You're almost dead.
Do it, Calamastia.
20.
Yes!
Yes!
You bring your axe down in a wicked chop, severing his arm completely. His bracer of fire immunity clings to the ground.
I
No!
cast Gignomi's Fire Strike of Flame.
Do we both die?
Ooh, snap!
Lying on the ground, you conjure a flaming spear, which flies from your hands to spear Durgaron in the chest, incinerating him completely.
Any healing
from the
spells,
inside
buddy?
out.
Damn, Elamon.
Durgaron is defeated, but your wounds were too great. I'm afraid Calamastia is dead.
Well,
I actually feel sad right now.
that's
Better to have died a hero than live as a coward.
That was fun.
Check out what I drew.
Mikey's got serious drawing skills.
Once again, I've made the point very early on, haven't I? And obviously, yes, you can draw the parallels easily and clearly. Duh. You can retroactively, well, not necessarily retroactively, but, you know, in terms of game release time. That arguably this will give her the confidence, right? To make the right decision. To choose what's right, to figure that there's one thing she can possibly do to set things right. There's one thing she could possibly do. Make the necessary sacrifice. This action will have consequences. Will we play more D&D? I'm up for that.
Glad you enjoyed it, Chloe.
Yeah, I'll adventure with you anytime.
We'll see. Thanks for the game, nerds.
Chloe, you don't have to be dismissive of people you've just had fun with, please.
DVD, check. Next stop, chemistry class.
Joy. It was fun nerding out with these two. Especially when I kicked that dude's ass at the end.
He's still gone. So he's no longer dull.
Thanks again for the game, Chloe.
Super fun. Next time will be even better.
That was the most fun I've had with this game, even though one could argue this was so basic, wasn't it? So basic, so impromptu, and yet, look who had fun with something so basic. Role-playing games.